Yeah. Thank you guys for stopping by. This is Thumbs Up Gardening. I hope you guys want to cook with me because I'm about to make some chicken and dumplings. That's my homemade stock there. Got some onions, some celery, some carrots, and I got leftover chicken parts that I didn't use in my dumplings, in my chicken and dumpling recipe. So I put it in my pressure cooker, and I used the slow cooker feature to make a broth. It's not going to be great because I didn't get a 24-hour run. I only got like maybe 6-7 hours. So it's going to be a pretty good homemade stock, but it won't be excellent. I'm just fishing out all the parts out of my stock so I can use it in my recipe. Look how rich that stock looks just from 6 hours. That would be some cream of chicken soup. And I'm using 1 can, and that's a 10.5 ounce can. And I'm using that because my stock didn't get a chance to sit for 24 hours. That's when you get the tastiest stock. But I'm gonna help this out because it's only been like maybe 6 hours. And there's that chicken, 1 whole cut up chicken. You can use a whole cut up chicken. You can use 4 chicken breasts. You can use a combination of thighs and legs and breasts. And I think you can get about, maybe if you can get 4 or 5 cups of chicken, you'll have a pretty nice pot of chicken and dumplings. And here's the dumpling recipe. You know, you always start with 2 cups of self-rising flour. That's standard for any dumpling. 1 cup's in there, just adding the second one. And then around a fourth cup of shortening. First time I have purchased Crisco shortening in a very long time. I mean a very long time. And I'm just gonna scoop that in there. And then I'm gonna take that fork and I'm gonna cut that shortening up into the flour and get a nice consistency of the flour and shortening mixed in together. You could also use a pastry knife too, but the fork works fine for me. I think I've always used a fork even when I make biscuits to cut the shortening into the flour. Now here is the water. And I believe I use about maybe 3/4 of a cup of hot water, really hot water. I let my water boil, then not a rapid boil, but come to a boil. And then I let it sit for just a few minutes before I pour it into the measuring cup. And it's about 3/4. And I pour it in gradually, a little at a time, until all of the flour is incorporated into the actual bread kind of a dough. Takes a couple minutes, but it's like making a biscuit. Just work it all in there together, get that moisture into that flour. I love bread dough. Biscuits, sourdough, yeast rolls. I just love the texture of bread dough. Yep, got to put the hands in it. Got to put the hands in it. You just want to work all of it together and get it into a little ball. You don't want to overwork it, but just make sure that, you don't have any loose flour and that it's incorporated and you got a, nice stiff ball. Because you're going to have to roll that out. That is so relaxing. Playing with bread dough. That means she's ready. I'm just gonna flour the countertop. Lightly flour. That's a lot of flour down there, but you don't want your dumplings to stick down on the counter because generally you roll them out to about 1/8 of an inch in thickness or 1/4 of an inch. Some people like really fat dumplings. I like mine's kind of thin, like you get in restaurants and soup cans, that nice thin square pretty uniform dumpling. But you don't have to have your dumpling like that. Just roll it out to the thickness that you think you want your dumpling to be. 1/4, 1/8. And give it a good roll, because if you like a lot of dumplings, here's the part where you actually get the number of dumplings that you want. Get it spread out so you can get a pretty decent cut. And keep flouring your little rolling pin. All right, we're just about there. Yeah, there's a hiccup. That means it's about 1/8 of an inch. When it starts to stick to your rolling pin, you've just about gotten it down that flat, as flat as you probably want to get it, and be able to cut it and lift it off of the counter. Let me find a knife and let's start cutting. Start out by just cutting strips as straight as you can. Unless you just don't want them straight, then cut it as crooked as you want to. It's your dumpling. All right, now I'm gonna cut across my strips because I want those pretty little squares. You don't have to. You can cut your strips in half. You can lay your strips in there any way you want to. They are your dumplings. And while we're cutting, I just want to add in that you can also just make that ball like we did a little earlier, and then just pinch off pieces and add it to the pot. Just raise your lid and add your dumplings in a few at a time, and put your lid back down to give them a chance to keep the steam inside so you can cool them. Keep the steam inside so you can cook them. And then once you've gotten them all in and they've cooked for 20 minutes, go ahead and season them with your salt and pepper to taste. Now, you know me, I'm going to put some garlic salt, some onion powder. I'm going to probably put some oregano and a little thyme because, I like spices. But This is a basic chicken and dumpling recipe. So you add whatever you want to make it yours. And there you are. A pot of chicken and dumplings. Amazing. It took no time at all. And you can thicken if you want to, or you can leave your dumplings thin. I like them thin. And we're done.